Hey guys, I'm going to do a special video here. This video is just to publicize and publish my authenticated birth certificate. I had completed, received back in first, maybe second week of February. Probably was the second week of February. After doing the entire process just for one authenticated birth certificate. So February of 2023. So what I did was take my copy of one birth certificate that I had for a very long time. It wasn't the original. This one that I had was back from 20, what was this? This one stayed 2016, the year. So with this birth certificate, which is more of the original one that I've had, because I've got other copies that I still need to do. That's the other copies that I've received in 2022 and 2023. They're all like just printouts. They look similar as in the documentation form, or the legal form, with the blue, this blue paper, or whitish blue paper, or bluish white paper. And it has its fringe outline and what it does, but it's not like typed. It's more computer typed. This one here is actually like typed with a typewriter. A typewriter, you guys may or may not know. If you don't know what a typewriter is, go look it up. But this one I received back in February, and as the first thing states, it says the first day of February 2023. And this was actually testimony whereof I, who is this Anthony J. Lincoln, Secretary of State, had hereunto caused the seal of the Department of State to be affixed, and my name subscribed by the Assistant Authentication Office of the said department at the City of Washington in the District of Columbia this first day of February 2023, and their signatures. So this is the actual seal for his. It's attached to both. This seal, this is my birth certificate. This seal is one from the state of Illinois, with the land that I was born on from. I'm from Illinois, Aurora, Illinois originally, and that's where this is from. This is from this was, let's see what the state's on here. But I had the address you have to submit this to is in Virginia, not Washington, D.C., Maryland. It's like, not Langley, I'm thinking the CIA, but that's not it. It's somewhere in Virginia that deals with certificates. If you don't know the process to actually do this, you can go look on YouTube, TikTok, any other media source that there is, it'll be there. These are for the United States, or those who are trying to get their status correction as a United States citizen to a United States national state citizen, or a common law citizen. And the common laws are main three of them, but there's other ones defining within those three. Theft of property, damage of property, damage of self, endangerment of person, or actual just rights that's been passed down to governments to enforce, that's been passed down by the omnipotent one, the holy one, the creator of all existence, the creator of all existences, one that y'all would know as God. It's universal law. That's what it is. It's just universal law. Every species, every being that's aware of this stuff is in some way tied to obeying laws. Now, in the United States of America, we have laws, and then we also have statutes. Statutes are color of law. They're assumed to be law, but they're not actually law. It's color of law. It's assumed. It's a statute. Now, unless you're doing civil, like suing someone, trying to gain money, put liens on a person, not people, but person. It deals with documentations. With this here, the federal jurisdiction of the United States, which includes mainly Congress and all the three branches of the United States government, this is how they deal with me. I'm a living flesh being. You know, I'm flesh. I'm just a living being that consumes food and other products and grows and learns. They can't deal with me. They have to deal with this, which is a name. Your name in all caps is claimed to be your corporate entity. With this stuff, you are an entity. So, as a 14th Amendment citizen, this does not apply. Until you do this, you're still considered a 14th Amendment citizen. So what I understand about history, the 13th Amendment of the United States of America was erased, eradicated, whatever it may be, okay, then there's the 14th. And that deals with, I am assuming, I may be wrong from memory, but 14th Amendment citizen deals with the democracy, which is government assistance to all its people. So you're borrowing things from government. The government pays for everything because it's obligated to as a citizen. So basically what I understand, it's not communism, it's not Marxism, or which is communism, it's socialism. And we are a democratic, socialistic society. Before that, this land itself, what I just discovered today is the 27th, July 27th, 2023. I've had this done back since then. So I needed to make a video about this to put it on public notice. This is the land that's now considered all America, pretty much from Oklahoma, maybe part of Arkansas, and further up north, the line on a graph was all considered Moroccan territory, Moroccan sovereign land. And people who actually, I would be included in that, because I got history here, you know, I'm not me alone, but the DNA from my mom's side is from here. Mesoamerican, considerably that, Aztec, you know, I'm all part of that in this area, just alone in this part of the globe, the world, the earth, you know. So that's that attachment. But for me, according to two other relatives who are very close to me, their nationalities of where they culturally came from through a DNA test is quite different than my own. And one of them is completely a half sibling. But they both share their mother's side. I also share, but a big part of my side, I'm supposed to be English, versus the Irish, Welsh, which my grandfather is, great-grandfather, my grandmother on my mom's side, her grandfather is Anderson, who's from Wales. So his bloodline from Wales. Well, both of them have the Wales and Scottish and Irish. I get 71% English for that section. We're all three, well, me and my younger sister were, the Mesoamerican, of course. We're Andean. We're both Ashkenazi Jewish. Ashkenazi. We've been told all our lives that we're German. So if we're somehow related, well, not Germany, but directly like the Jewish disbursement so many thousands of years ago, whatever that was, I'm part of the Ashkenazi as well as the one that fled to Spain. That part of Jewish is in my bloodline alone, from one DNA test alone. Now, this DNA test was only $70, and hey, that's what it is. So it's like a general. So more detail of that I can get from somewhere else, and I plan on doing it later in the future. So we both share Italian blood. What other ones I haven't mentioned? I had to bring up that list. Oh, but the thing is, me and my other brother, or another brother who took the test, no, he's not Nigerian. I'm Nigerian. I'm 1.6% Nigerian. Me, myself. I'm Nigerian. Huh? Right? Like, I'm Nigerian? Whatever. It just amazes me that a big part of that section of the United Kingdom, where both of them have pretty much the same, from mom's side, I'm English. And I guess because I heard that my grandmother and my dad's side, well, my mother, his mother, my dad's mother, which is my grandmother, is Scottish. A lot of Scottish. So maybe that's probably why they consider me English, according to whatever testing they do when you do the cotton swab test for DNA check. When I was with this here, this is the document in more detail. You guys can read that, it's great. But I'm just publicizing this. This might be backwards because I'm using the front-facing camera, and this is actually the left microphone, and that's the right. So this is my left hand, which is on the right. So if this is recorded properly, good. And this is the right. But this is the left microphone, this is the right. So I hope you got some static there. So anyways, the seal came from the state office in Springfield, I think it is. And this is the Illinois State Fidelity's website. You can track you can find your a specific code. So your trading stock code, but I couldn't find it yet. I'm like, oh, I want to find out what I'm supposed to be worth. All right, well, me, the legal me, the straw man. Well, this just takes away separation of the dictatorship by the governments of the United States of America. And since I actually have history in this land before, on my mom's side, on her dad's side, the Aztec, Mesoamerican, mostly is what that would be considered. I have stake in this land alone too. What I understand is that with the treaty, this treaty, bring it up real quick. Alright, I had it up and I was like, oh wow, I didn't know about this. This is brand new. Well, this Treaty of Peace and Friendship, 1787, between Morocco and the United States, referring to basically half the landmass that before was the United States, and now the rest of it is. Like California to Oklahoma, I know that's where it's at. Might be Arkansas too, because that's where I'm at now, but I don't know. It's some of the treaty, so you can actually, be able to, well, with these people, the actual Moroccans, between the ambassador, minister, or commissioner of His Majesty the Emperor of Morocco concerning a treaty of amity and commerce. And that's what it's about, commerce. See, Europeans is about getting that currency flow. That's why we have paper money, digital money. Well, not even money, it's currency. Because that's not a definition of money. Currency that transactions from money. Because these people here, the Moroccans, not even Native Americans, Moroccans. I've seen this photo, a photo before of the people, and wow, they really are. And that one guy looks dark or darker than my grandfather. My grandfather and Uncle Vincent was freaking dark. They were like dark. They were really freaking dark. Like, I can't, not black dark, but they were really damn dark. So this is their treaty between the United States and these people. So the United States were able to take over the land, and they barred them from getting a bank account and all that stuff. This is 1787. And banks are, corporations, they do control what you do. They do control everything. And that's why you can get into legal trouble instead of being lawful about it. If you stand on your ground knowing the terminology, well, not all of it, I guess, but knowing what you're talking about, the legalism part of these governments, specifically here in the United States, they can't do nothing. They can't prosecute against you because you've done something that's different. You're aware. What are they going to do if they threw me in a jail? I'm going to talk to people about this stuff. I sure will. Anyway, here's that. Here's another one. Okay, here's the classifications of citizenships. I might not let it bring it. Yeah, it's not going to be read. See if we can bring this a little closer. Got my tripod here, of course. I mean, it's a little closer, but I'll read it anyway. Not all of it, but I'll read the definitions. American state national, which I am now considered. Can I get that with my head in there? Yeah, how you doing? Anyways, an American state national is either one, naturally born on the land and soil of an American state. Example as such as Wisconsin. I was born on Illinois land. So, or two, after being naturalized as a United States citizen, is a foreign-born man or woman who voluntarily accepts and publishes their adoption of a specific American state as their permanent home and domicile. I guess is dominion over their state it's staying. A state national is not acting as a citizen, not acting as a citizen of any government and owes no obligations to government beyond keeping the peace and reporting crimes. Common law. So there's more in here detailing about, okay, here, let me read this. As a completely unincorporated person is a legal term. People is not. People is flesh and blood, living beings of consciousness. That's what I am, what you are. But how do they deal with you and me? With this crap. Paper, dead entity stuff. Like saying ghosts said this, and here's the documentation literature of what the ghost said. That's one way how it was put to me. So then they had to accept it as value instead of like, okay, he's just talking to ghosts or she's just talking to some ghost. But it's not on paper, it was not recorded, it was not put on record. So this is what I'm doing here, putting this on record. I mean, it's quite late. I did have another one here, but I had to get rid of it because it showed too much of my information. Like, I don't want to do that. So, as a complementary unincorporated person, a state national is sovereign, and from prosecution until and unless they take some action that causes actual physical harm to someone else or someone else's property. So your rights as a free being of consciousness, if you violate the laws, which are property damage, somebody else's life, your life and self-endangerment, anyone, then that's common law. Then you'll be subjugated to the penalties. Those are felonies. Felonies. Not misdemeanor. A misdemeanor is not a felony. So a misdemeanor deals with legalism, not law. It's color of law. Okay. Whereupon they are subject to the common law of the country and state where they live, or where the alleged crime is committed. So if I'm from Wisconsin and I commit a crime down in Florida, if I head back to Texas for some reason, and they caught me in Texas, but I committed a crime supposedly, I have to go to trial or whatever type of court system down there. So they will expedite me down from Texas to Florida, and then I got to sit in jail there too until the court hearing, whatever they want to call it, because I committed a crime. Not a misdemeanor. Get that separated, guys. Misdemeanor, felony. Non-crime, statute, crime. You're going to be in trouble, right? Okay. A state national can be arrested for cause by peacekeeping officials. A policy officer, policy, can enforce law if you do one of these things. If you committed something, you can be arrested. Lawfully arrested, not legally. Lawfully arrested. If you're legally arrested, it's something to deal with a misdemeanor, a statute, something that deals with the federal corporation of the United States, which is based in Washington, D.C. Can be arrested is not generally subject to private courts or to arrest by private law enforcement officials. So let me read that back so far. State nationals is sovereign and private and generally immune from prosecution until and unless they take some action that causes actual physical harm to someone else or someone else's property, whereupon they are subject to the common law, universal law, common law, the law of the United States, the law of pretty much every country should be. If it's not, it probably is, I don't know. I'm not sure. Where subject to common law of the country and state where they live or where the alleged crime is committed. A state national can be arrested for cause by peacekeeping officials, but is not generally subject to private courts or to arrest by private law enforcement officers, it says, not officials, officers. By definition, a state national is a citizen and an internationally protected person, and is owed the law of peace. A state national may be elected for its public office. Now, definition of state citizen. State citizens are state nationals who undertake the obligations of self-governance in behalf of the state of the union where they live. Basically, that's it. A federal citizen, number 3. True federal citizens are called United States citizens, and they are considered, while employed, not unemployed, but employed by the federal government, to be dual citizens of their state of where they work, live, and work directly for and are commissioned by the United States of America and the unincorporated federation of states in control of the international land jurisdiction of this country and the non-delegated powers owed to the states in the international jurisdiction of the sea. Amendment 10. Excuse me. Federal marshals, now called continental marshals, are civilian peacekeeping officers who work within multi-state, federal, postal district services areas. Federal postal district courts are also staffed by the United States citizens. They are all Federation employees, and they enforce the constitutions and the United States statutes at large and public laws as published on the congressional record. So that goes to like postmasters, another example of the land jurisdiction of United States citizens. So public office, federal citizenship. I'm more main concerned with the first one because that's what I am. I don't work for some state citizenship or office or definitely a federal citizen. Number 4, territorial United States citizens are called U.S. citizens to distinguish between them and United States citizens. U.S. dots. Abbreviations are a problem. When you abbreviate your state, you must use a zip code so they can identify mail. If you spell out the entire state and city, of course, where you're receiving and sending mail to, you don't have to put a zip code. You just don't. And this is kind of like explaining a bit of the difference too. Okay, so territorial citizens are now commonly dual citizens of the British Commonwealth and the municipal United States. Though they may opt to claim citizenship from another country entirely, they work out of the District of Columbia to enforce U.S. statutes that are published on the Federal Register and to perform military and quasi-military and military support duties. So, I wanted to mention something before I go to the fifth one. I've forgotten. Well, I have to go to the fifth. Just making a comment. But municipal United States citizens are known as citizens of the United States, which is probably most everybody around. and as U.S. citizens, all caps U.S. citizens, and include the members of the Federal Civil Service and officers of the actual municipal corporation. See, corporations right here to describe these guys. And its franchises and subcontractors, which include the so-called federal agencies. These are all employees or dependents of the oligarchic Papist municipal government of Washington, D.C. and states of state. No, D.C. and the District of Columbia and its states of state subsidiaries. And they basically work to enforce global commercial law and federal regulation. Okay, this is totally messed up. Man, that's what I'm talking about down here. So, I wanted to mention something too as well about this. Global commercial law. Commercial deals with commerce. And that's why I have to do something like this. That's why we all need to do something like this to separate our commercial self, what they want to consider you as, from you. You know, you're stating your information. That's all it is taking a claim. You're telling them a claim. That's all you're doing is telling them you're claiming this. This is what this is about, and unless I'm disobeying some law, which is basically the 3 laws that I mentioned in the beginning of this video, which that describes, you know, theft of property, damaging of property, violence against someone else, mostly instead of yourself. I mean, it's kind of sucky that there had to be a crime if people want to commit suicide and got proof, so they're still alive, but now they're pressing charges. Now, the word charge is a legal term for commercial use. I don't do anything for commerce. The only thing I would consider be doing for commerce is being a consumer, and there are rights that protect consumers. I buy things. I buy things, right? I'm a consumer, but I'm not selling anything like as a main source of income to get more income. And the word income definition is to gain profit from. That's income. So most people are doing income. They really messed this whole thing up in the last 200 years, or less than 200 years, since basically that agreement that was made between the white man, that's what they would consider probably European the white man, and the rest of the world. So I'm aware even more now that corporations around the earth in their respective natural territories look towards us as in the leaders of everything, commerce. We started this bull crap. Well, I can't say we. I can't claim that. I'm not a part of that. But the governments of the United States of America, which that's another thing, America, you know, the name America, not Moroccan. Now, there are going to be a lot of haters with this video if they even see this. But you know what? I'm just here to live a great life and come back if I have to. Reincarnation, law of one, understanding that you are God, God is you, everything, the phone, all you see right here, it's God, because it came from source in some way. You know, its own DNA. These are wood, it's wood. Plastic, which comes from, you know, plastics made from petroleum. Petroleum is made from crude oil. Crude oil is made from millions of years of compact sludge garbage that's black and icky. That's oil. That's what it is. Petroleum. That's what plastic's a byproduct of petroleum. That's why there's certain grades of plastic that is biodegradable, that you can actually just replace it. Or maybe it might be biodegradable. Well, maybe plastics aren't. But you can recycle certain plastics from 1 and 2 only. 3, there's a number system of the plastics. I think it goes up to 6. I think it's 6. Now 1 and 2 definitely are able to be recycled easy. 3, might be because of what other contaminant materials are in that. And it's all from petroleum, and petroleum is made from crude oil. Crude oil is made from stuff out of the ground, from fossilized plant matter and animals and old people, like ancient old people. That's all what that is. And that's why it's harming the planet as well. There's that. I got a bunch of documentations about this stuff. That's why I'm able to do this. I mean, had this put together. You know, watching videos like this one here as well, or mainly more detailed videos. But I just wanted to put this in public view, public eye, that hey, yes, it's a little bit late, but I've had this officially done since this date. That's the date on there. Was it? Yeah, February, right there. February of 2023, February 1st. And this is from the United States Department of State. Let's see. And it says, I certify that the documents hereunto annexed is under the seal of the states of Illinois, and that such seals is and are entitled to full faith and credit. Just the word credit, meaning it's value, somehow it's monetary funding or something. That's stupid stuff, man. Man, this is bogus. And this is what we all got to do. If you're from Canada or the United States, I don't know how the procedures of Canada is, but Canada is included as well. But basically, I'll tell you a short version of this process. You write out your request in your cover letter. You write out, you print off the form for your specific state. You send it to your state capital. You receive the birth certificate with their certification back, because you're telling them what you want them to do. You pay your little fee. I think mine was like, I don't know, $2, but the actual state one was $20. It changed in recent years. You get the first one back of your birth certificate with their seal, of their state seal, because their state is still under the commerce law of the United States government. Then you send it off, which is the 11-week-long one, because the other one only took 2 weeks for me to get, for them to process it and send it back. About 2 weeks, probably right about 2 weeks for me to get the first one from Illinois. The second one will take 11 weeks. They're processing a lot of documents, marriage certificates, death certificates, birth certificates. They do them all. That's where this place is in Virginia, which is the state Department of State. So that one takes that long, and then you send those forms, and then you have to fill out that specific form requesting what you want done with your cover letter or what you're trying to get done. So there's no way for them. Of course, when you send anything to anyone like this statute problem, certified mail. Certified mail. Get the green envelope, get the green little card, you get the green sticker form. Pay the $8, $9, whatever it may be now, it's worth it. Because you should receive a signature, which is still commerce stuff, which legally ties them accepting that whatever it is, you're supposed to be able to do it with corporations, like you owe credit cards, a bank for a car, because it's physical property ownership, 9/10 of the United States laws, right? So a car, if a house that you reside in, you're physically owning it, physically. But legally, do you own it? they're claiming no. So you have to adjust that properly to claim, yes, I own this legally, commercially, the law of the merchant wise, but then also the law states this is my property. This water bottle is mine. No one can tell. There's dents, dings all over it. It's my property, right? It's mine. I'm claiming this as mine. Physical property. There's no necessary. I bought it from some store, Amazon, Walmart, somewhere. I don't remember. If someone trying to say that's theirs because it has a line on it, I don't know why. But if they did that, they have legal documentation for it, claiming that. It has dates, numbers, how is it theirs. But most people don't understand the difference between the law and legalism. I didn't before. I had to look all that. It's been 2 years I'm looking all this stuff up. I got plenty of documents. If you need some documentation in PDF and Word document so you can create your own, just message me, private message me, email me. I think my email is attached to this. Or email my account. And then, I get a lot of spam, a lot of crap. So, I got a notification, something about a call. But I'm just gonna go end this. But I can send you those forms directly if you really are interested in this. People want to sell this stuff to people. This is information that everybody should be allowed to be given. You shouldn't sell this. Donate me some funding so I can actually send you some information, because people think if it's valuable, funding is required. No. I mean, in a way, it's a retarded barter system, you know. Before I end this, True Anarchy I read, and I came up from videos long time ago, in the beginning of YouTube, 2006. So this probably was, when was this? Was it before the Army? I'm going to say 2008, right when I got in the Army myself. So anyways, about that time period, I saw a video describing anarchy. True anarchy is community service. I'm a what do you call it? A tailor. I make clothes, you make bread. For example, we trade. And then it continues in the community of people, true sovereign community, where you suffice and do everything for yourself. You have no outside influence. Everything's in your little village, your little tribe. It's a small community. It could be a large community, but it's a community of people who do things for each other. That's anarchy. That's really what anarchy is. We're like, wow, really? You hear the word anarchy equals chaos. No, that really doesn't make sense. So the better off all people of the globe, of the earth, we should be anarchists. Now, I'm going to bomb your business because I don't like what some idiot said on TV. Where the hell? Stupid. That's dumb. That's chaos. That's not anarchy. That's dumbness. Because they're mind control. That's what it is. Yeah, I got my fake aluminum foil hat on right now. It's invisible right now. See, I can get the point right there. Oh, shit. They can't get to my mind. I remember that. Oh, shit, I'm babbling up. I remember that video of the movie when they made the Beverly Hillbillies, the movie. They had Granny was getting electroshocked. She's like, getting electrocuted, hair going nuts. Oh, that was such a good freaking movie, man. Wow. Yeah, you guys should go watch that one. But yeah, this is just to actually get that out there in public view again, but now without what I didn't want to be shown. And that's it. So thanks for viewing the video. Hope this has been educational, beneficial for you, because that's really what it's meant to be done, to keep you informed of really what and why, how, yeah, all of that. What, why, and how. History has always been dictated, and it seems like it is being dictated by the conquerors. So whatever is considerable ancient history, which mostly is Greek and Roman history, why is that so important? Why is that so important over any other history? I don't get it. I mean, you think, well, what about the Germanic tribes, the Franks, or even the Eastern or Middle East culture mixing with African? Why is that not more? Because they have a agenda. That's what it is. It's an agenda to keep you controlled, to keep you docile, so you don't ask questions, so you don't wonder what's going on. So when you actually come back to another life, it's the same type of enslavement. Reincarnation is the thing. It's so real. It makes so much sense. And like you think about just Earth, its population, how it's been so small, and now it's expanded throughout what's considered time, right? Time, the time matrix, this time, space continuum. Like, okay, there's so many. And it's like, okay, I always wondered, okay, back when I thought about theology and biblical stuff, is God creating conscious level souls and implanting them into a human body for what purpose? That doesn't make sense. That you live here one time on earth and you die, and then you're judged based upon if you follow somebody named Jesus Christ and worship him as the true Son of God and all the other crap. And how it used to be like, okay, it depends on how well you behave, how much good deeds you did. Religion is wrong. I grew up Baptist. I followed the Mormons for a little while. I went to a Catholic church one time. Religion is here to control. What are they trying to control? You. Why? Because they're making income. Governments around the world, commercials, corporations, companies, not all, but most of the majority ones, they volunteer into this stuff too. That's what I would assume, because they're making so much funding. And they're doing it off of your work. You work, you're enslaved, and you do it until you die, and you die miserable. Okay, here's something I need to start doing I'm starting to, but it's so difficult. This idea of stop eating flesh, stop consuming any type of living creature, living being, and now they've been for years putting human fetuses and human grind up hamburger meat in McDonald's and other restaurants and making you feel sicker and worse because it's in the meat. Excuse me. But us as Americans, we were brought up with that culture, and meat tastes so good. I love pork. I really do. And within that, eating pig within my Chinese horoscope, which is 1983, I'm a cannibal. Because the wild boar is my horoscope in the Chinese. And like, dude, I love eating myself. I mean, I don't know, it's mystical or whatever. But and then crab, I haven't really eaten crab. Sometimes, rarely I eat lobster or seafood. Mostly it's pork, chicken, beef. That's what I like. I like that. I really like some seafood. but not much. So stop eating meats to get that acidic diet, as well as the metals and other ailments through stress that the animal goes through. You're ingesting that as well by eating their flesh. They're screaming, ah, and they die, right? They don't know what the hell's going on. They just know it's happening, right? Apparently they're just aware that something wrong is happening that they don't want to happen, and they have no control about it. And thinking about the law of one with that. You are eating yourself by eating a cow or part of a cow or something, because you are tied to that as well as a living being. I mean, it gets complex in thinking about that. I think about, okay, you were a rock at one time. Eons ago, you were a rock, you were a stone, you were a pebble, a dirt, you were the rain, elements, right? And then you graduated throughout, you transcended into other existences. And now you're in this 3D, third dimension. It's not because of Oculus. It's about awareness. Humans, well, I don't like saying the word human because I know I'm something else, but right now you visualize me as this human. So I'm a bipedal mixture of something else DNA-wise, right? I don't know. It doesn't matter. How I think about it like this as well. Your body does things. It goes through its changes, and you're not aware of it. It just does stuff. Oh, I gotta go poop. Oh, my stomach. Oh, my heart beating fast. What's going on? Oh, what is this bump here? What is this mole or pimple? It just grow there. You don't know it. You're not aware of it because you're not feeling it. That tells me right there, I'm not flesh. I'm just in a body, experiencing. I'm God experiencing life as this human. So if you were a dog, orangutan, if you were a giraffe, if you were a zebra, a cockroach, you may and you have been all those type of things possibly. You have to look into your, follow your guide, your soul. See, I got this is an hour long the most. Oh well. People already know, or they think they know that someone like me is crazy or insane by talking this stuff. Those are just labels you want to place because you don't comprehend what I'm talking about, what I'm describing. So I'm insane. The definition of insanity is what, folks? What's the definition? When you're doing something, getting the same result, but expecting some different result. But you keep repeating the same process in a circle. Tiny circle, big circle, whatever, right? That's insanity, the definition right there in English. I'm not doing any of that. I'm transforming, I'm changing. My vibrations are going way up. For all these years, no wonder people can't communicate to me, can't communicate with me. They don't know how. And also why people gravitate towards me. The weak people gravitate towards me. Somebody will just pop up, ask questions, in physical reality here. Well, this considerable physical reality. I've had people ask me many questions about different things, get their own advice, and that's it. And then they move on. And I separate. It's just how things go. And with that, I'm understands because I am power. I have power because that entitles that I'm this flesh. I'm the flesh. I'm not the flesh. I'm just the operator. Man, so anyways, separating that. Now, the soul contract, I'm not a soul. I'm a conscience byproduct created by a soul in another dimension. And souls are fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension in this 15-dimensional universe, this time matrix that we call this universe. Now, there are scientists that have already been proven through quantum theory and quantum entanglement theory and all that stuff that actual there is possibility, even that theoretical experiment that they did, that particles exist and they keep multiplying and they just exist, right? They disappeared and more come up. You know, multi-universe, multi-world theories, all that stuff. That's supposedly a theory that's been proven through the experiments and experiment of that famous one. Go figure, right? Now, I understand the time matrix, there is 5 density universes. The density, how heavy this object is. We're at a very low density, the 3rd density. No, we're density 1, right? No, yeah, we're density 1. Very low vibration. That's why they want to keep us eating the wrong foods, keep drinking the filthy water, never go out in the sun. Like, seriously, sun. I don't know how people can do that. I don't know yet. People can just survive off of sun rays. How the heck can you do that? But it's because it's feeding you. Your body is being fed with the nutrients from the sun so you can exist and still stay alive, right? Like, that's interesting. When I heard about that, like, what? People eating the sun? How? What? That's nuts. That was like 4 or 5 years ago I heard about that one. And here I am talking about it that actually is. I went out to the lake this recent weekend at the Beaver Dam, and it's like, I went in the water, of course, enjoyed it, and then I got my suntan. And that's probably why I'm kind of darker now than I was before. And I just enjoyed the sun, feeling the heat, the rays of the sun and the heat, feeling the radiation, you know, vibing off me. And just enjoying it. I mean, kind of enjoying it. Like, I haven't done this in a while. It's been needed. But yeah, every time I go outside and mow the lawn or something, that sun's bright. And it's changed colors. You know, it's more like a whitish tint. It's bright up in the sky now. And some days it's darker yellow like it used to be. And some days it's just dark yellow because it's saying the next day it's going to be hotter. That's just how it goes. But I got through what I wanted to have done, was getting that certificate, authentication, put in the public notice. Well, I got lots to talk, y'all. I mean, not too many people look at my viewing, but I also think it's because I'm not doing anything to push those, like doing AdWords or anything like that. Paying someone corporation-wise to push my videos out there. I'm only here to share the video. That's all I'm doing. Sharing my experience as a human. Because I'm looking at the word human, back started from the Roman period, that the Romans called livestock human, or slaves, human slaves, just as equal as livestock. Like, they just kill them, it wouldn't matter because it's just something that is a workforce for them. And it's just, man, that's horrible. And that's probably why also we get all the rules that we have here in the United States. Because it started from 1,000 years ago. You know, like, damn, we borrowed all these laws and rules from then because it suited the people who did that. And I don't deal too much with anything deal with political, like voting or anything. I don't need to. I don't care to. I did a few times in this life, and it's like, well, whatever, right? But I understand the power of change. You got to look at within. Now, the Christos mentality, the Christos consciousness, which is 12th dimensional beings, 10th, 11th, and 12th dimensional beings, mainly the 12th, the avatars, the true avatars, not, I mean, there may be blue people like that, you know, in that dimension. They're vibrating at a high frequency. And they are coming back here, I'm one of them. Apparently, that's what I'm saying. I'm one of them. O positive blood. I knew I've had O positive blood. That I know I've had O positive blood since I was. When did I do the blood test? From 19, I think. 20 and 19. I did a blood draw from Red Cross. Red Cross. Just first time I ever did blood. Gave blood for a work environment situation. And ever since then, I haven't given a card. I'm O positive blood type. Cool. And now it's becoming a common, but it used to not be common. But what I understand about O blood types were in the other dimensions were from psoriasis, maybe psoriasis B. Could be psoriasis A, but from the serious psoriasis star system. And I knew I was completely different since I was a child. I've occasionally heard and saw things just picking up, and I didn't know what the heck all that was about. I'm not like, okay, the schizophrenic type thing, but that's what they want to call it, claim it as, so they can define it as some type of symbol. That's what people want to do, have done. But it was very seldom. I would take a certain books by many different authors. They were all white books mostly with red lettering. I was in first grade maybe. I could sit there like a 3D hologram. Like I just shake the words. They'd be moving, jolting around. And like I could just take the book like this and just see it like a hologram imaging, and it wasn't hologram. I asked some friend, hey, you see this changing to look like, describing it, and the guy or girl, I think it was a guy, the kid, who was like, no. I'm like, damn, I do. I'm like, dude, this is cool. And I was doing it for a while before I even asked this kid, because I would just picked it up, like, dude, what is up with this? I used to be able to see auras, your aura around you. It was just like almost the color of a rainbow, green, blue, whitish tint. Just a hue of your body. Mostly just this part. Mostly just the upper part of people. I would just see people. I would look past them. Like look through them, but past them. And I would get this hue I always would see. Like, wow. I don't know what that was. I'm 40 now, and I'm learning what that was and how I had that gift. I got gifts of, of course, intuition, of course. I just know things. I don't know how. Some things I just know. If it's involved me, that's what I wanted to mention. If it does involve me, then I would know it. Premonition dreams. I have had and still do have premonition dreams. People I meet, events, not exactly the same events, but certain people I've seen you somewhere, like a deja vu, but it was a premonition of this person that I would meet and visit and talk to or whatever, or do something with. And in this reality, it comes out, but it's not exactly the same. I've had 3 events I can recall right now that something like that happened, where I met a certain person or somebody said something, and years down the line, like today, like, wait a minute. And then I don't catch on to it right away, but when I think about it later, like, that was too odd and familiar. Like, I'm just thinking that it just happened now, and I'm recalling from the present memories of the present moments. I'm like, no, man, that's weird. Because why would I be thinking about it? There's a connection. Anyways, with the crystals, K-Y-R, hang on, not C-H, K-R-Y-S-T-O-S, crystals, the true names of those beings. Where the true Yeshua, however the name in Hebrew and Aramaic is actually pronounced, the original being is a 12th dimensional being that came here during that time period, did his thing, and left. The one that was crucified was a look-alike to that being. And apparently there was 3 of them. One in Jerusalem that got crucified. The one that actually did his business and left. Nothing happened. He already knew what's going to happen, so he just did his thing and walked where he had to go and left. And then the one that was in Japan. There's the Japanese, well, the one that went to Japan to go hide and ended up living a life, had kids, and died. Apparently there's 3 Jesus Christs. And this is the defining of those 3. That's why the history is written down, even had to be after the facts from scholars and historians. And words get mixed up, memories gets misplaced, and bam, you got whatever made up. I can't think of the Gnostics, not agnostic, but Gnostics. They're pretty right out when it comes down to religious information. I mean, it's a lot of stuff that's mixed and connected because it just is. This time period right now, 2023, is a huge one that I was told in 2022 for me will reveal itself in big ways. It's happening. It's happening. Wow. And then things just happen. You have guides, your soul, who's in charge of informing you of what its contract is, and through astrology and numerology, astrology, you'll find these things out. Specifically numerology, because this universe is, dualistic. There's positive and negative, left, right, up, down, inside, outside. Maybe I should go inside, outside, outside, inside, upside, downside, left side, right side, right side. No, I get stupid and comical. This is how I am. You know, understanding persona, ego, and how do you get yourself in check. The dark night of the soul stuff. Look within. That's what I'm saying. The Christos mentality. Those who are on that path of righteousness. Doing this legal stuff is a huge part of it in this realm. But I already know I'm a king. I already know this. But while I'm playing this game called life, I'm a pauper or whatever status that they claim to you. Dude. Shit. When I was a kid, I don't know why I brought this up. I just played with people I meet, get introduced to people, kids, wives, other adults. I would claim my mother is the queen of the galaxy. Which galaxy? What galaxy? I don't know. I just started telling people this. Okay, 11, 12, 13, 11, 12, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, I don't think 11, 12, 13, maybe 11, 12. I would tell people this. Hi, how you doing? It's say, you know what? My mom's the queen of the galaxy. My mom here, who my mother is physically, that's not my real mom. That's my adopted mom. I knew I was saying this stuff, and it was just to get the people to move, but it's because I knew I was so different than everyone else that I ever came in contact with them. This is before any mass media, YouTube, Facebook, MySpace, any of that stuff. MySpace is very old. But anyways, before all that stuff was out, before the internet was big as it is now, I'm talking about in the early 90s, early and mid 90s, you know, I'm just being me, being stupid, right? People might say it's stupid or just ignorant. I don't know. That's their opinion. And just like a butthole, right? Everybody has one. That's a good one. I like that one. But yeah, that's it. Go ahead, please subscribe to my channel. You know, I'm not doing anything. It'd be nice to get, 1,000 subs to get that plaque by YouTube. And course, hit the thumbs up, right? Hit my thumbs up if you like this video. Give it a thumbs down if you don't like the video. Comment. Put some questioning in the comments. Ask me something. Say something. It really doesn't matter. And that's the difference between me and most of you. You're wanting that acknowledgement, status quo. I've never been a big person for status quo. I don't care. And now I'm realizing this because I already know about myself. And that's what y'all need to be doing too. Know yourself. The religion, the family, the people, the country, the land, the language, the culture that you came here in is truly not you. You're just the byproduct. You're in the byproduct status of that. If you were some type of royal tribe, leader, shaman, maybe the chief, or whatever they call themselves, right? Titles. If that's what you were, and you try to keep the lineage going with that, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. Because you're going to be here for a moment, gone the next, and then continue with another life. But we're not supposed to be here more than 24 reincarnations total. Well, in this universe and then the parallel universe that exists with this universe, they're all together. They're just back to back. You know, that's all they are, back to back. So you here, so like dreams. When you dream, you're astral projecting your consciousness from this body, other places. I've had most of my dreams. I'm having adventures. I'm chasing a monster, falling from the sky, flying, driving a plane, a motorcycle, or something adventurous, thrilling. But it's always like a life that's a human life. And I would have relatives join me, or people I don't even know. We're just in this story together, whatever it may be. And what I understand that is, it's another life that you've had, or another life you will have, or it's those premonition dreams I would have about this life, that something happens in an event, or people I meet, or it's you in the other parallel universe. I had a weird dream before, a long time ago, man. I probably have posted about this, I'm not sure. Okay, the video game Gears of War. I don't play the game. And during that time period, I was not playing the game. Months prior or whatever, wasn't even thinking about it. But I had a dream that I was this weird looking creature thing, man, this being, you know, this weird monster looking creature, according to us, would be like a monster looking. But I was on a ship that was like concave, or like stuck in the ground, I think it was. And I was trying to save a little girl. I don't know. She looked like us, or me, whatever, who I looked like. This big, bulbous looking monster creature being thing, right? And I was fighting a war. I remember having a gun, a big old gun like they have on Gears of War, and I was shooting at something while I'm approaching, trying to get to this little girl and protecting her. I remember that section. And out of the blue, what was that about? You know, this is before, this was like, I don't know, how long ago was that? I'm going to guess 5 years ago. I'm going to guess the number. But it was before all the COVID thing. It was like 2016, 2017 maybe I had this dream. You know, maybe longer than 5 years ago. I don't know. I'm guessing it was 2017. 2017, I think it was, when I had this dream. But I was like, what the heck was this about? I don't know, it's out of the blue. I had this dream. I'm trying to rescue somebody, and I'm trying to shoot whoever it is. And I'm just now thinking about it. I might have got hit. I can't remember. I might have died. Shit, that sucks. But it's like, that was the weirdest dream I had so far. I've had maybe some weirder ones. The one that I can recall, that's the weirdest dream I've had. And I don't know, was that a future me? Or is that something that I was in another existence because of parallel dimension, parallel existences, multi-universe theory? Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. All I know is I was having an adventure. I got chased by Sasquatch before. Me and my younger sister was in the woods and Sasquatch was chasing us. We were little kids and we were in the dark and we had flashlights, I think we did. And then we knew something was chasing. I guess we were trying to find it and it found us and we were just running the fucking way like, ah! Oh man, that's another weird dream I've had. And that's another thing I've heard about recently, about Sasquatch, Bigfoot. That would be the original hominid being that humans evolved from, that they evolved into from what they used to be millions of years ago. And through the text of Anunnaki and whatever else by Jebediah Stitchin or something like that, that book or collection of books that the guy wrote describing this stuff. It was Benjamin. I don't remember his name. But man, it just gave me some thought about that. Like, I lost train of thought right there too. But yeah, I just wanted to get that through. So this is it. You know, this is on public notice, public view. I got my authenticated birth certificate. I am now classified as an American state national. Oh, you have to claim when you do it for the state as well. Yeah, for the state that you're from and the Department of State, what country you're going for. It has to be a non-Hagen Accord agreement country. There's a few of them. There's a list you can look up. I heard Guam, Jamaica. I chose Canada. I was just like, okay, it's closer, just in case. You know, I was supposed to be in Canada anyways. Apparently my dad, before he died, he was thinking about taking us all up there and living in Canada. I don't know. I don't know what the theory about that was, but my mom said that many times. Like we would be Canadians, Canadian Americans. So, yeah, that's it, y'all. Thanks for viewing. Like I said, thumbs up. Send me some comments. Hope it's not rude stuff because I got that blocked or it has to be approved. So it won't get to me, and if it does, I can just easily erase it, of course. But yeah, this is just a documentation video of the authentication of my birth certificate, which was just something that was assigned to this being through a person by my name. So, alright, thanks for viewing, y'all. Have a great day.